gotta do this with love. Wait a minute. Let's set go. We're going to do this. I'm gonna get this out. I know it's late on the East Coast, so I might have to test this later. I do want to build on a couple things. And y'all done heard me going on this for years now. So you should already know it's not really like a disrespect thing to the Moors. Because I fuck with some Moors, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of Moors I respect. Taharka Bey being one of them. One of the top ones I respect is Taharka Bey. And I know you'll see this Taharka Bey. I know you will. You're on the friends list. You might not see it till tomorrow. You might not respond. I know that boy gonna see this. I know Rah Born will see it. I know that MBK will see it. I know a lot of my comments will see it. I'm like, I don't want to do anything that would break up any unity that's starting to build with our people, any momentum. But let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. The only solution to our problems is black nationalism. We can say Pan-Africanism, but we can't truly have Pan-Africanism without black nationalism first, because Pan-Africanism is the collection of different black nationalists. Now, check this out. Like I said, this ain't no disrespect. I know some Moors that I fuck with, I love, absolutely love. I'm talking about real life, not on this internet shit. And I know most of them a lot of them are sincere, despite some of this internet shit. I really didn't expect when I seen this debate, just reference what I'm speaking about, on I think it was Sunday TV or Black News 101, Rah Born and Taharka Bey had a little debate. Now, it was a good debate. I honestly, no disrespect to you, Rah Born, but I honestly didn't expect you to win that, and I definitely didn't expect you to wash him. But in my opinion, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I'm sorry, Taharka, you got washed on that one. I expected that Taharka Bey would be able to, and the subject was black nationalism or Moorish science tipple, which is better for, our people or whatnot. I expected, not because I believe in Moorish science temple over black nationalism, but I expected because of who Taharka Bey is. I know he's a sharp brother, he's a sharp cat. So because of that, I thought that he would articulate his point better than Rah Born would. Hence, by default, if I was going to be objective, I would say that I thought that Taharka Bey probably would have got him on that. Plus, I never seen Rah Born, do any debates, but you're going to be a beast, bro. You got to polish up on a couple things. You might have to come through Blackistand radio, but you're going to be a beast in this debate shit. Now, here's the thing, though, because we really just got to get down to the essence of things and what's really the solutions for our people. The foundation's already been laid, man. So this isn't like a question that most of us really have to ask, but I just want to reiterate this for those that might be teetering, or for those who ain't involved, or for those who don't really realize what black nationalism is. In a nutshell, black nationalism is our own everything, including our own nation. So when we speak about reparations, one of the key things that we speak about is land, so that we can actually put nationhood into effect. See, a nation doesn't require land by definition, but in order to actually build, you do have to have land. So in other words, what I'm saying is we are already a nation. We're already a nation. That is just by definition what we are as a people. We're a nation because we have the same experience. We have the same collective ancestry. We have the same, ideas. And we're a nation. We're not a nation state, meaning we don't have a land that's attached to our nationhood at this point, which we can very easily have. Matter of fact, let me back up. Because in essence, we actually already do. We just ain't congregating and domiciling there as a masses. But we do have black towns, particularly in Oklahoma, which were set on sovereign Seminole territory because of that connection. So that is a fact, just to let you know. However, land could be acquired in many, many different ways. So if you know about the Republic of New Africa, then you already know the idea of how to acquire land. But also, we can purchase land and we can turn those communities into cities if we wish. That's how most small towns are. If you look up the history of most cities and small towns, that's how they start. They start by somebody who bought some land. Over time, that land developed. I'm just saying this so you'll have a little foundation of black nationalism and the actual goals of black nationalism. And so you won't think that they're far-fetched so you'll know that these things have already been established. And there's some of them are still even maintaining, but you're not going to find that out if you're watching CNN. Let me get back to the point. Let me see what everybody's talking about, man. What's up, Cushmore L? What's up, man? Oh, you know, that's one of them exclusive things, baby. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, you go to, we got some merch. This was just a little experiment type of little thing, man. But don't worry about that. We'll get all that to you. What's up, Daisha? What's up, everybody that's watching this? So I don't know if y'all fuck with Sarnetta TV, Taharka Bey, or Rah Born, but there was just a debate. It was called Moorish Science Temple or Black Nationalism, what's best for Black people? Now, here's all I want to say without being disrespectful, because like I said, Taharka Bey is dope. I respect the moves that he makes. Despite not really agreeing with his whole paradigm, I do respect him as a brother. I think he's a good brother. I think he's a sincere brother. However, he did get washed on that debate. And the main reason I say that he got washed is because when you compare the Moorish Science Temple to Black nationalism or the movement of Black power, there is nothing to, there's no comparison, period, point blank. I hate to, I mean, it's the truth. There's Noble Drew Ali got it from the Messiah. That's period, point. That's all you can say. So Taharka Bey was like, yeah, well, Marcus Garvey was the John the Baptist setting it up for the prophet to come, referring to Noble Drew Ali. But that's just not true, okay? It's just not. And if you want to go by impact and influence and who really moved our people and connected our people, you would have to say that after Garvey, the foundation was laid for Elijah Muhammad. That's just a fact. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you fuck with the NOI. You can't dispute these things. But I must say Black nationalism on a whole and in general is our solution, because that means that we remedy our own problems, that we create institutions and an infrastructure that reflects us. So if you want to talk about Black Wall Street, that was, without being Black nationalism, that was Black nationalism. It was out of force, however, it operated the same, because we look at Black Wall Street, and sometimes we confuse Black Wall Street with being a town. It wasn't a town, it was a section of Tulsa, Oklahoma. But within that section, within that community, they provided for all of their needs. All of our needs was provided for by us. It was FUBU. Now, there was plenty of towns that we built right after our enslavement that were thriving towns. Many of them we lost for various reasons, but we didn't lose them all. In essence, the only ones we truly lost are the ones that weren't fortified with a military presence of armed Black men. Those are the ones we lost, because the ones where we had that, we typically still have. Hence, those towns in Oklahoma, there's about a dozen of them right now. Hence, the Black town that we have in Georgia, that we have in Missouri, that we have in Florida to this day. So what I'm saying is Black nationalism is the only solution. The only solution for us is to remedy our own problems, irregardless to religion, but based on practical means that any nation would have to support themselves or be developed from. Now, it's true what the Moors say when they say that Black is not a nationality. That's true, it's not. But either is Moorish for that matter, it's not. You know what I'm saying? So we understand Black's not a nationality. We understand when we play the international game of being recognized, we understand, but we already have that in the bag. Hence the Republic of New Africa. New African is actually a political term developed in 1968. Now, the fact that 98% of our people don't know this, there's a lot of various factors for that. But the point is this. For us to establish an actual nationality that would be actually recognized internationally, that's not really a big problem. The first things that we have to do, because remember, in order to build a nation, you start with individuals, families, neighborhood, community, in that order. So that means that we have to develop the self-sustainability in our communities before we can really have the question of international presence and all that kind of thing. We have to be able to sustain ourselves, and then we could turn those mechanisms, we could turn those organizations into a department within our nation. That's how that works. So we have the new Black Panther Party getting busy. That's already a lock in for government status in the Black nation that is yet to be born as a nationhood or a nation state. So I'm saying we already have these things going, and when you weigh out who has been more beneficial, what's been more beneficial, it's just the truth. You can't point me to things that we have, to ways that we have grown and justice that we have gotten slowly in our rise as a people. You can't point to the Moorish Science Temple as being a big part of that growth and development of our people. It has not pushed us forward. Black nationalism has. Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X's, Nation of Islam's, UNIA's, New Black Panther Party, original Black Panther Party, the MOVE organization. All these different organizations are black nationalists. They believe in we taking care of our own problems, us having the remedies and solution to the challenges that we have. That's what it is. We're talking about economics, we're talking about politics, we're talking about education. We're even talking about spirituality, but we leave that open to the individual person. Of course, as black nationalists, we typically, generally come under African spirituality of some sort, voodoo, for instance. But the Ifa system, the Orisha, the Mayat, that's all voodoo anyway. But however, people practice the religion that they're safe in. And like Malcolm X said, leave that to your personal self and your creator or the God that you believe in. But the practical things that we have to do, we have to be able to do regardless of who we worship and praise on an individual private level. But my point is this, the only solution is black nationalism, period, point blank, us doing for self. And if we don't even have to look any further than other communities around us or other nationalities or ethnic groups around us to see that that's what works. So you see how the Chinese community, they operate as a nation within this nation, but they understand Chinese nationalism. That means they're loyal to China. That means they're loyal to their people. That means that they will provide the needs for themselves and they will have a community. Not that they lock out other people from the community, but you damn sure can't participate in certain things without their say-so and without it benefiting them. In other words, you might be able to buy property in Chinatown and open up a restaurant, but it's not likely if you're not Chinese that they're going to patronize that restaurant because they practice Chinese nationalism. I used to do business-to-business sales, and I would sell, the equipment to process credit card machines and the actual processing of the money. It'd be ATMs, we sell ATMs, we sell the credit card swipers, all that thing. So I gave a presentation to a Korean lady. I showed her how much money we looked at her budget, we looked at her sales, some credit card sales, and I established that I could save her some money by saving her some percentages, and that the way that the machines that we have is set up, and you're gonna save some money. She originally signed a contract to buy it, a couple $1,000s worth of equipment. I was excited about it. Now this was like over 10 years ago, so I wasn't as hip to the idea of nationalism as I am now. So I didn't understand why the next day when she called me up and she canceled the order, she's like, nah, I'm gonna stay with the company I'm with, which was a Korean company. It was a Korean bank she was with. It was a Korean processing company that she was with. I didn't understand at that time exactly why, although she could save money as a small business, she still would elect to initially sign up, but then reverse that and stick with her Korean bank. It's because they're nationalists. Because the fact that she can save, which would a significant amount of money for a small business, that wasn't bigger to her than the nationalist aspect of her supporting her own people. You know what I'm saying? That's a concept of nationalism that we can see work as practice. That's the concept that we have to get back to. That's why I say staying on code. I don't protect Farrakhan or the Nation of Islam because I'm a Muslim or because I agree with everything about it. It's because I wouldn't go and attack my own people and organizations that I know has a value to our people. And I wouldn't go on a Facebook or a YouTube to grieve out my differences or my disdain for another Black group that's doing positive things, even if I don't agree with some of the personal antics. Hell, there's organizations who I really don't even like. But you're not gonna know about that because I'm not gonna say that publicly because I'm gonna stay on code. That's one of the principles of Black nationalism. You know what I'm saying? So even when I'm talking about the Moorish Science Temple, I'm not gonna do it in a disrespectful manner. I'm not gonna act like they have nothing to add because they do. They have certain things that they can add, certain nuances that's perfect. The discipline, they study, they're polite, You know what I'm saying? They're a lot more polite and cordial even than me many times. That's a respectable trait. They're upstanding. That's a respectable trait. But now we have to just get honest. And I see we have a Moor watching this, and you go ahead and tell me if I'm lying. But now we got to be honest about some things. And I don't want to hurt no feelings, but this is just the truth. You got to be able to stomach the truth. Look, man, when a lot of the Moors, when they speak about certain things, and they try to imply that these are Moorish principles, but they're just simply not. All that right to travel and all that shit, listen, that's not exclusive to Moors. There's white sovereign citizens that do that shit. That's just constitution. So when they sell you some of these things that sound good, oh, I don't have no tags when I'm driving. I ain't got no plates. That's usually more of a hassle than it's worth. However, that has nothing to do, that's nothing exclusively Moorish. So they should just let you know that. Because when you strip some of that fancy shit away, what you're gonna find is there's really not nothing that they have really added on to the movement. Okay? All they've really done is added on, took some from Garvey, rewrote it on some other shit, and kind of went over there with it. That's just if you want to be factual about it. All right? So the idea of nationality, Marcus Garvey already told us that. That's why he gave us the flag. We have to build on from that. So we understand that, you know, yo, in order to be internationally recognized, and to tell you the truth, if we just wanted to go on the record as being black, we can do that. Nobody can stop us from doing that. If we're a sovereign nation and it's respected and it's recognized by other international communities, especially in Africa, which the ambassador to the diaspora in the African Union already fucked with us. So if we wanted to go on the record and have some type of plebiscite or national recognition, we could do that. We really could. But that groundwork's already been laid by the Republic of New Africa, and that's where the term New African comes from. And if you understand what that term means, you understand how we came to that term. You know what I'm saying? Or should I say the fathers of the Republic of New Africa, which the Black Panther Party was a spiritual father and instrument of the Republic of New Africa, as was Malcolm X. If y'all don't know what that is, you need to really study that. But if you fuck with Blackistand Radio, you probably know I share some of the episodes where I've interviewed people within our government. Now, if we have to change that up a little bit, that's just what it is. We have to add on to it. It's 2019. It is what it is. However, I'm just going to say this, though. and I respect Noble Drew Ali. I really don't believe that most of these Moors are even really following Noble Drew Ali. No more than some of these Israelites are really following the forefathers of the Israelite movement. They ain't, simply. The only thing that's remained intact has been black nationalism. That's the one thing that the white man or our enemies or the government, synagogue of Satan, that's the thing that they attack the most. They have to undermine that because that's what it's going to take. Look, when J. Edgar Hoover wrote the counterintelligence, he said he had to stop a Messiah. All the Messiahs that he named were black nationalists, period, point blank. He understood that. He understood that the danger, which is not a danger, but for a racist cracker like he was, a faggot like that, of course the danger was us being able to provide for our own needs. That's what he said. The biggest threat was black unity. That was the biggest threat. So the breakfast program, and we're feeding our children and we're showing our children that we can rely on each other and that we can fortify our own communities, that was seen as a threat because it means that now we don't need different entities that get money to do the services that we could do for ourselves. So that becomes a threat. Look, we got over $1 trillion that we spend. That's a nation right there. We could remedy our problems, even though we're still pushing for reparations. You know what I'm saying? So all these different solutions that we have heard over the years, you know what I'm saying? It didn't even start with Garvey, to tell you the truth, but he's the one that took it to that next level. That's why we call him the father of Pan-Africanism and we call him the Messiah and all that shit. But the solutions that have been rooted for our people have always came from black nationalism. God damn it, the revolution in Haiti was black nationalism. All the uprisings, black nationalism. All the marching, all the things that we've done to change laws, all the schools that were built. Like you want to really look at this thing, there's Panther schools that still exist to the day. There's clinics and hospitals that started by the Panthers. There's programs that the government even uses to this day that were started by the Panthers. All the solutions and things that have been added on, they came from the Black Power, Black nationalist movement, period, point blank. I'm glad Sonnet has said that. It's almost like you've been watching, listening to Blackistand Radio. So I've been saying that. We got these institutions that are still alive today. We're still building on the foundation of a Garvey. And you can take it from the Garvey to the Elijahs, to the Huey P's, to the Khalid Muhammad's, to the present day Hashim Azingas, and Black nationalism is in effect. And that's the only solution. The only problem is not too many of our people speak about it, talk about it, but they're not really being about it or even supporting those that are. That's why we got these cats with these fancy names. We got these cats, they got a good presentation, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. Let's just keep it real. And this isn't no hate, because we need that media. You know what I'm saying? We actually do need that to be able to get large members of our people and educate them properly and lead them towards Black nationalism and the activities of Black nationalism, so that they can use their own skills and their own passion, their own knowledge in order to add on to what we're doing. So you can be in your own lane, because we're talking about nationalism. That means everything. So if you're involved in technology, then you use that to build your community. Similar to how Nipsey Hussle and the brother Idris, what's his name? Idris Sanyu, you know what I'm saying? Use technology to revolutionize and build the first smart store, as they bought the block to educate our people with the STEM and with the other technological programs and just employing our people. That was Nipsey Hussle. That was Black nationalism. Let's keep that real. So I'm saying that every time when we see a solution, any kind of progress that we've ever made as a people, it's always came from that. None of us ever came or even been assisted by the Moorish Science Temple. Let's just keep it real. That's not as, you know what I'm saying? That's not hating. That's just being real. Even though I do know there are some Moors who actually really fuck with Black nationalism. And if you really look at what Noble Drew Ali did, that's really what he was doing. Let me kind of shifted the paradigm a little bit. He kind of went to the left, in my opinion, with this Moorish shit, because there's no evidence and no Moorish shit that you can really concretely say in the Americas. You can't show me no documentation. You can't show me no civilization. You can't show me none of that, just to tell you the truth. However, that's cool, because I do know our people were here before the white man. That's a fact too, right? Well, let's just keep it real. We came from Africa. Now we're Americans. That'll be the nationality according to where we were born. But our ethnicity is African. So the African American to me is fine. And when people say, yo, but that's a whole continent, you can't have a whole continent. We can have a whole continent. Because of the unique experience that we've been through and who we are, and because we come from a collective of mostly West African nations, at this point, they put themselves in a trick bag when they allowed Jesse Jackson to say African American. They actually did. That, to me, that's actually that's a good representation. I'll fuck with it. Because yeah, what we're basically saying when you say that is that the whole damn continent is ours, and we have access to it, and we have kinship to it, the whole damn continent. Not just one country at this point, because of what we've been through, the uniqueness that we come from, and the resilience that we have to still be here, we can claim that whole shit. Period, point blank. So yeah, we are African, and we were born in America. So sometimes we get caught up on these word plays, man. And that's what the Moors are real good at. That's what some of these cats are real good at. They'll give you that word play. Oh yeah, you can't be a African American, that's a whole continent. But guess what? America's a continent. When we say America, Canada is American. Mexicans are American. Because it's America. So we're gonna play that game. Let's just go ahead and do it right. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, if we're really going to be a sovereign people, if we're really going to be a people who assert themselves and asserts their power and their connections, which we have, I've tried to show y'all evidence of this. We have connections all over the world. They're ready. They're waiting. Yes, in Africa, they got shit set up for us. So much we complain, they actually do. So if we're going to assert ourselves, that means that we can go with whatever we want. If somebody else makes us have to name ourselves according to their definitions and shit, then we wasn't sovereign to begin with. Because China can call themselves whatever the fuck they want. They're still a nation. They're still a powerful nation. America still has to fuck with them. If they wanted to call themselves yellow, America ain't gonna be like, whoa, and yellow in the law means all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We're not going by the Black Law Dictionary. Oh yeah, another thing that this brother said. He said, according to science, black means death. He said, according to science, black means death. Come on, man, Taharka, that was some straight bullshit. According to science, black means death. No, it doesn't. And then he used some Kemet. He used Kemet, Osiris, he used, Kemet to justify what he was saying, even though that's not what they were saying. But we just know scientifically, and then he made the distinction between science and symbolism. And really, listen, man, you name any kind of creature that comes to life without being incubated in blackness. I'll wait. Name one life form. There's got to be one that can be incubated without darkness and come to life. The womb, triple darkness. The earth, darkness. The egg, darkness. The creatures born in the sea, darkness. So how the hell could black mean death? How can scientifically black means death? It means light. And to my understanding, even in Kemet, when they did depict someone who was just passed, they painted them as white. That's from what I've seen. When they depict somebody who just passed, somebody who they're representing just died, they paint them as white, man. So they'll try to use our shit against us like that again, man. That's some bullshit. The only solution is black nationalism. You tell me who your favorite black leader was or your favorite black organization, and they were a black nationalist, period, point blank. That's just a fact. Black nationalism leads to Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism as a concept is all of us, regardless to where we are, being of African descent, be on the same page and understanding that our destiny is intertwined. In a nutshell, that's Pan-Africanism. In order to really make Pan-Africanism work for us, we would have to be black nationalists first, because until we establish ourselves as a nation and a nationhood and a cohesiveness with the economy that really benefits us as a people. So that is why we do have to do the international making ourselves on the record thing. But in order for Pan-Africanism to work, it has to be black nationalism first. In order for black nationalism to work, we have to secure our communities first. That's the first thing. So that's what you see us doing in the streets. That's why the Black Panthers are doing what we're doing in the streets. That's why some of these other organizations and NOI are doing what they're doing in the streets, because we secure our community first. We secure the mind of our people. We secure our future first. We secure actual tangibles, and we secure land. Like I said, we have cities that we need to go and commandeer, that we need to go and build and add on to. However, we can also buy property, communities, and develop. See, that's securing the community first. From there, we can network that nationally. Listen, man, it's too much to go into right now. But just for you to see the context, how it works in simple terms, is you secure your damn community. That's what it is. It means that you buy from your people as much as you can. It means we create economics. We create a political power. So this is like with this reparations. This is a political move, and we're moving for these reparations. You know what I'm saying? And other things that we do when we attack these laws, when we get these laws changed to our favor. So a process that's happening right now. See, that's part of securing the political, securing the community, the education. That's why you're seeing all these different schools starting to pop up. Black schools, black educational institutions. This is all part of black nationalism. This already secures us having the departments that are necessary once we actually incorporate into an actual nationhood. And if that's not the ultimate goal, then I understand. You stay over there. But for those of us who that is the goal, who really were listening to Malcolm, who really were listening to Elijah and Khalid and Huey P, and who were really listening, and you know that Marcus Garvey, of course, if you really were listening, you know that that's the ultimate goal. I know I'm kind of tired right now, though. Let me see what's up. I got you, Reg. I got you, man. I got you, G. Inbox me, homie. Do it like that, bro. Same with you, Regil. Yeah. We got you, man. Oh, yeah. Peace to Jaku. Yeah, free the land. RNA. So like I said, black nationalism is the only thing that's going to work. That means us actually having our own nationhood. Now, me personally, I'm fucking with the Republic of New Africa, based on the fact that it's already a provisional government. Now, is it as effective as it should be? No. Is it effective as it should be? No. Is it as growing in power as it should be? No, because people ain't really adding on to it properly. There are some people that's keeping it alive. But the truth is, there's already a president, there's already districts, there's already a constitution. It's already been established since 1968. It comes right out of the principles of Malcolm X and the New Black Panther Party and other black nationalists. Marcus Garvey comes right out of that. Period, point blank. So because of that, that's what I would say is it. And under Republic of New Africa, that makes us New African. And that's how I identify. That's what I would say we'd probably put on the record before anything else. However, collectively, if those of us who are really within this, really adding on, came up with something else, that's fine. The idea is once we nationalize, but like I say, we secure the communities first, because if we don't do that, ain't nothing popping anyway. But once that happens, now we collectively are able to connect with other countries. Hence, let me just give an example. I want to make this simple for people that just may be new at this. I'll give you an example why it is important, as the Moors say. This is why I'll give the Moors their credit. It is important to, on the record, have a collective incorporation or a government, right? The reason that is important is for this. If y'all remember back in the day, who was it? Gaddafi gave the Nation of Islam a $5 million loan. Then he pardoned the loan and said it was just a grant. So Gaddafi, being a head of state in a very wealthy country like Libya, in order for him to help black people, which was his aim wasn't necessarily Farrakhan. That's why I say when y'all go against Farrakhan, you're going against yourself, because Farrakhan represents us to the world. He has more reach than anybody else right now. He gets treated like a king in other countries by heads of state all over the world, not because of his own account, because he represents us. And the people around the world know that after what we've been through and the resilience that we have and the talents that we have and the strength that we have, the divinity that we are, they know that our time is coming again. So they want to be part of that process if they want to be on the right side of history. That's why Farrakhan gets treated like he does worldwide. It's not because of his own doings necessarily. It's because he represents us, period, point blank. Back to the point. So when Gaddafi gave that money to Farrakhan, he gave it to Farrakhan, well, because he's trustworthy and all that. He is. And he's a good dude. He's been putting in the work, no matter what y'all fuckboys say. He's been doing it. Mistakes and all, he's been doing it. So they gave it to him because he represented us. See, if we had our own national treasury, right, and established as a government, no matter how small it is, if we had that, then these different heads of states, they would give the money to that treasury. You understand? The treasury, our treasury. Then we can use that to build communities all across the nation. And we can also carve out a piece of land that we say is our capital. This is where we do business. Because all governments are businesses at the end of the day. They're corporations with some other things injected in them. But at the end of the day, that's what they are. So if we had a treasury, then a Gaddafi or the king of Gambia or whoever would be able to put money, and they would. And a lot of these countries will be pumping money into our treasuries so we can develop the mechanism and we can produce goods and services that we can trade with. Pretty soon the money becomes irrelevant. We make our own money. That's more down the line. I'm just trying to give you an idea, because you have to at least be able to imagine this. You have to at least be able to have the foresight to see this. I understand not everybody's going to have that, and not everybody's going to be this. Everybody's not going to see it how I see it. They're going to have their own point of view. But at the end of the day, that's just what it boils down to. So the Moors got it right when they're talking about all that. But since they've had all that, they claim for 100 years now, they haven't did nothing more significant than us. They ain't even matched us in the black nationalist community. So let me just address this too. And this ain't no personal thing, but so I be seeing these Moorish people that they love to show that picture of Obama and, you know, Michelle and Barack Obama flanked by two Moroccan flags with an American flag in the middle when they're speaking. And people could be fooled by that. I mean, like, see, that's them telling us no, it's not. They just happen to be in Morocco. Keep it real. If they were in Poland, it would have been two Polish flags behind them with the American flag. That's just how they do their thing. in different countries. When other people come here, they go ahead and give them, you know what I'm saying, their flag and our flag mixed. That's just what it is. That wasn't no, I'm trying to secretly tell you you're Moorish. Cut it out. Goddamn president of the world. You don't need to hide shit. That's what it's really about. It's 2019, y'all. We can't be playing these games anymore. That's all I'm saying. None of these games where we're, come on, man. It is what it is. If we can't demand justice, if we can't be unapologetic about who we are and what our desires are, I'm not saying come on some hate shit. I'm not saying you got to be on that extra revolutionary, all that shit. That's not for everybody. There's different lanes that we need you in. We need you in health. We need you in education. We need you in technology. We need you in culture, spirituality. Feel me? We need you in production. We need you in construction. We need you in agriculture. Whatever your gift is, we need you in retail and business. Whatever your gift, whatever your talent is, whatever your passion is, add that to the movement. Collectively, we have a nation already. We have the mechanisms of a nation. We have the institutions. We have all that. We don't have the incorporation of a government that's not provisional. We haven't took the PG off the RNA, the Provisional Government of Republic of New Africa. We haven't took the PG off. I mean, it's not just a provisional government, that's actual functioning government to full capacity. We can do that by the end of the year. That's a fact. We already have the media, so we have everything already ready to put in it. That's the cold part. Like, if we really understood that, we would understand why we don't really need outsiders as much as that we think we do, because we already have it, period, point blank. That's the trick, that we don't know that we have it, that we really do actually think we have to depend on people, that we don't. And because of that, we devalue who we are and what we have. And this is why a shitty cuz could shoot down a Nipsey Hussle for 75 racks, according to what he said. Because we'll still put that value of 75,000 ain't nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish I had 75,000 right now in the bag. I don't. But in that sense, 75 racks is nothing. It really ain't. You can't measure that against your children and your community and your people and the things that you can't measure that. The only way you could do that is because you don't understand the value of what we have and who we are, what our destiny is. So you'll put a bag, something simple for right now, in front of the movement. And that's why we got to get these shitty cousins the fuck away from us. Yeah, that's why we got to neutralize and make them kind of cast so they won't even come around us with that bullshit moving forward. Because they always get into our shits. But anyway, I don't want to take too long, man. Blackistand Radio. We got, oh yeah. Should I say it? Yeah, we got X-Rated. Must be interviewing X-Rated. Salute to X-Rated. Sacramento 24 Garden Block Crip. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite rappers. He must be interviewing. Who else we got, man? It don't even matter right now. I'll tell you what you need to know. Go ahead and share this, add on to this. It's no disrespect to the Moors, no disrespect to Taharka Bey, man. I love Taharka Bey. What's up? What's up, Knowledge Born? I love Taharka Bey, man. I really, he's one of the real ones. I fucks with Taharka Bey. I just gotta be honest, brother. I know you'll probably see this, might be in the morning because you're in Baltimore, but yeah, you got watched on this one. You know what I'm saying? But keep doing your thing, though. I do appreciate what you're doing, though. And that's why I do fucks with them. I fucks with Moors, fucks with Israelites. I do sometimes critique and jump on my bullshit, but it ain't really bullshit, though. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Peace.